I got if you go to the penitentiary, man, you gonna get hit.
Back in the days, it took a village.
Each one, out of them 18,
The village is needed.
14 of those charges carry a life sentence.
Because you can't fight.
Yeah, because you can't fight. That's all you know how to do is shoot.
But they are not going to where they need to go to get the real solution.
Can y'all introduce yourself? We'll start with you first.
I'm Ashley. Where am I looking?
You can look wherever you want to look.
Alrighty. I'm Ashley. I'm an educator. I work for Ferguson Florissant School District. I'm an art teacher, activist. We have this community garden. So that's what we do. And a mother of a teen.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And what about you?
Mine gonna be short. I'm Chrystal, and I'm a parent, activist, and I have a community garden.
All right, that's cool. That's exactly what we need. Parents and educators. So from an educators and parents perspective, we've been hearing the talks about the teens in the city, downtown and everywhere else around, causing mayhem everywhere. What are your thoughts on that? Let's start there. What are your thoughts on what's going on in St. Louis as far as the teens right now?
Well, I think since I'm always with teenagers, I work at a high school, so it ranged from like 14 all the way to about 18. I feel like they don't have a lot of role models. I also feel like when I asked my teenager before I left the house, I was like, why do you think the violence is going on in the neighborhood? She was like, basically, I feel like a lot of the teens be wanting to feel like they're somebody. Okay, so it makes them feel good when they can stand up for themselves, but they doing it in the wrong way. And I was like, okay, so what makes them feel like they gotta have street cred and want to feel valuable? She was like, the music. And then I'm like, okay, well, how do I get in front of the music? Or how do I get in front of entertainment and change it, or let them know, okay, well, this not really reality. Well, it is somebody's reality, but it don't have to be your reality. And how do I get in front of music and social media and all of that? She was just like, we just need people to kind of communicate with us and listen to us. And I was like, okay. So I feel like most of the time teens be needing somebody to listen to them and really care about what's going on, to trying to change it.
All right, so that's an interesting, perspective. So you say, well, she say, sometimes it's the actual music. I think it's safe to say that music and hip hop, has a big influence on just everyday life.
Right.
I don't know too many people who's not walking around trying to get to the Jay-Z bank account,
right, or
wake up like Beyonce every day per se. So let me ask this: like, as far as the music, we definitely know it has a big impact. What do you feel like now that she's told you that? What can you do with her, or maybe tell her about music so it might, keep her on the straight and narrow, opposed to being heavily influenced by something that might not be the best?
Right. So I'm always thinking, I'm like, I love hip hop, I love music. Sometimes I have my R.E. Lennox days, sometimes I have my Sexy Red days. But I want her to know that music is entertainment. So I'm always, even though you might see me singing some lyrics or rapping something, I'm going to let her know, you still need to go to school, you still need to be respectful, you still need to put yourself on a pedestal no matter what kind of music you singing with, no matter where you're at, you need to know who you are. So a lot of times I feel like teens, they kind of are figuring out themselves. I mean, that's the point of life, where we're figuring out who we are. And a lot of people think they shouldn't do this, they shouldn't do that. But our mind, when you're a teenager, your mind is at a certain level. It's not developed, and you're learning who you are. So that is a point in time where we can kind of scoop in and kind of give them some jewels. Even though you're getting fed this, but we're going to give you some gems, some jewels, and kind of mold you so you can know that that's not really you.
Okay, Sister Ashley, would you like to piggyback on that? Same question.
Chrystal. Well, yeah, it's okay.
Let's get it.
I kind of feel the same way. I was just thinking about that, and this, because we kind of listen to. I'm also a young parent, so kind of listen to the same kind of music. Mm-hmm. So I was thinking, man, I think now when I ride in a car, I'm going to be kind of conscious about what I'm playing, so I would not make it cool for them. They'll know certain music you have to listen to, riding your your ears, I guess, so you listen to other stuff. But I definitely believe that the music is influencing, and it's selling this type of lifestyle, and the kids are thinking about fast money, easy ways to get it. So I mean, we the parents, I feel like back in the days, it took a village. It's that village is needed. Again, it's needed.
Okay, so I would say this. Back in the days, it sounded like you was about to say something about back in the days. Back in the days, I personally feel like it was a tad bit harder to access the music. Like, you literally had to save a little bit of money. Once you save that money, you had to, see what store had the music. Right. Then you actually had to go there. This day and age, you pull out your cell phone, hit 2 buttons, you downloaded the whole album. So as far as I'm not gonna say combating the music, but educating around it, it's there. It's in our pockets 24/7. So even if you don't listen to it in the car, once they get out the car, 2 buttons is there.
Right. I know.
So what's the what would be your method? And I like the education piece that you said about letting them know what's reality, what's entertainment. But do you think that's how we can go about that? Just continue to educate around the music.
Continue to educate, give them something else to listen. Like, broaden the horizon on the music. It's other music out there that can touch you. So I mean, I'm not shying away from my hip hop. I love hip hop too, but once you see that it's other genres, and then you'll know that it's just entertainment. Like,
that's
you know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's fair. All right, so let's go to Ashley. Ashley, so you heard about the shooting downtown, and you heard about probably all the other shootings. Like, as an educator, somebody who's with children, roughly about 9 months minimum, a year, almost all day, probably more than their parents.
Right.
How does that make you feel to hear about so many children becoming injured or even killed by gunfire, whether it's accidental or purposely?
To hear about it, it just makes me upset because I know their potential. And being an art teacher is like a different type of teacher, because you gotta express yourself more than you would express yourself to another type of teacher. So I see parts of people where they okay, he all tough in my classroom, or he's always cursing me out. How do you get him to draw this, or how do you get him to express this? So I'm seeing different parts of teens that show a tough exterior all the time. And so when I hear about what's going on in the environment, and I hear people talking about teenagers and how they're lost and how they're troublesome and how they just want to get into bad things, I'm they just need somebody to listen to them and to care about them. They need to know that you actually care about what they like or what they're going through. And I sit there and they tell me so many stories, and it be too much information sometimes, but they know that I'm always there for them. So I feel a lot of people need to do that as well, just to sit there and listen. Even if they sound like they saying some off the wall stuff or the wrong stuff, listen first, build that relationship and that trust, and then you can kind of stir them in the right direction. But a lot of people is not even building that trust, so we can't come to them and tell them what to do because they don't know you, they don't trust you, they don't even feel like you really care about them. So I feel that's the main thing that we need to do.
All right, Sister Chrystal, I got it right this time. Sister Chrystal, all right, so same question. How do you feel about that? Hearing about so many kids getting shot accidentally, on purpose, and just dying in a city that half the time it's 10, 12 minutes away, 15 minutes away, so it's close to home.
Well, I mean, it hit close to home. I mean, not my kid's sibling was killed due to gun violence here in the city, and to see how that affect them, to lose their brother, it's I hurt for them, and I could see that light that was there, it's gone. It's that hope that is it's they don't know if they're gonna make it. So it's just hurtful. It's hurtful just to see these kids they're going through more than what we went through when we were growing up, and a lot of them are saying that we don't understand, y'all don't understand what we're going through day to day, and we don't. We're not losing our friends like that. you know. So
as a mother, you say your kids' siblings. As a mother, like, how did you handle the situation? When I say the situation, sooner or later they have to come to you and tell you this information or express their feelings to you about the situation. Like, as a mother, what type of tolls did that take on you and your kids?
It made me more stressed. So when my kids go out, I'm more worried. And I think I have one of my kids. They don't go anywhere. They in the house now. They don't want to interact, go out and go to parties. And they're teenagers. You should be able to have fun right now. But that terrified them. So it's like they don't feel safe.